The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And it's time for a terrific Tuesday edition of Mick Shots. Bill Jones,
moving on.
Everson Walls, Mickey Spagnola. It was announced late last night that there will be no Monday in this work week. That's right.
Just eliminated it?
The NFL eliminated it. It's a Saturday game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah, we would love to have had a victory Monday.
Damn, we would have loved
said
to.
There's no victory
just
Monday.
No time.
So we move right on to Tuesday. It's time to get ready for the Eagles, right?
And by the way,
no songs or anything?
That Jimmy Johnson statement, that's an exclamation. But if you want to make it a question, how about them Cowboys? Question mark. I would say Cowboys suck. That's what I would say. Sorry, guys.
Actually, you got to know more about. It's how about.
How about?
Those
yeah,
Cowboys.
Really. It's an actual question.
It's a question, not an exclamation.
Okay, and so you don't want to go ahead and just move on to Philadelphia. There's things to discuss about what happened yesterday.
I think
on Sunday afternoon at AT&T
all the fans
Stadium.
sitting there on the side of their seats waiting for us to talk about this.
Oh, they are? Where are they?
Usually though, Mickey, in the TV business, like the local TV sportscast business, traditionally, if the Cowboys lose a game on a Sunday, the ratings go way down at 10 o'clock on Sunday night. People do not want to relive that.
Well,
Isn't that something?
I can vouch for that because when I was working at the Dallas Times-Herald and the office was in downtown Dallas, where back in the day they used to put newspapers in racks and you had to put your 50 cents in there or whatever it cost back then. After a loss, all the papers were still there.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, though.
Wow, is that for real?
So
yeah, and if they won, the thing was empty.
I never
by the time
knew
I
that.
got
That is
there.
So
crazy.
that's the case for the night of a game or the day after a game in the newspaper business or the TV business. But the sports talk business, it thrives on
Isn't that
losses.
something? Isn't that
It's
something?
raging.
That's exactly right. So here we are in the sports talk business.
I never watch any of the first takes, get ups. I don't watch any of that. I thought that was just me.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any type of
I'm the same way.
opinions or anything about that.
I got
'cause
my
you don't
own
know what the heck
opinions,
you're
and I
talking
don't
about.
want to. I don't
That's
wanna hear
right. You don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Do we know what the heck we're talking about, Mickey?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
This is an educational show.
All right.
Perspective.
So start educating.
Perspective. This is a show of putting things into perspective.
So how about them Cowboys,
Well,
Mickey?
check this out. And this is sort of what I began my column with for this morning, is nearly every team, nearly that kind of a playoff type team, because remember Mike McCarthy said this is going to be like a playoff weekend, the games. Almost every team struggled and were losing, just like the Cowboys.
That's true.
But they came back and
Except
won.
for the Packers.
They came back and won
Except
in the
for
end.
the
I said
Packers.
almost. The Rams were trailing.
The Bucks.
Tampa Bay was trailing 24-10 to the Jets.
The Bills.
Right? The Bills were trailing. Cincinnati was trailing. Philadelphia was trailing. And they all came back and figured out a way to win it.
New England was another one that
The Cowboys,
kind of had an easy time. But they were playing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Jeez, 50 plus.
So again, I said almost. What does he? Would you define almost?
Yeah, because I
for
would
him?
love to move this on, Spag.
Right.
So yes, please.
Yeah.
Because I got stuff to say.
Yeah,
So yeah, you
And the
do your thing,
Cowboys-
bro. You do your thing.
And the Cowboys
Get it over with.
were trailing 22-7, and they could not
Can
come
you
back
believe that?
at the end
22-7.
to make the plays necessary to win the game. And they had a little help. and I left my white hat
Oh
behind.
man, how do you lose it? You can't leave it. You can't keep leaving it behind because they sucked as well this game. Come on, man. This is mixed shots. This is not.
We don't have
almost
to,
mixed shots.
I can take the gloves off, right?
Please do. Please do.
Well, the players didn't hesitate. Right?
Wow.
And
They
I'm not blaming that, right? But it made a significant difference on all those third down holding calls. Whenever he said, what happened with the running game? Well, okay, their big runs got called back because of holding. And I need somebody to define holding to me. What is holding? If I'm an offensive lineman, can I put my hands on their shoulders? If I don't rip the jersey off, I'm just blocking them. And then the one that I think pissed me off the most was the NFL's got to come up with a year of 2022 to determine when there's a delay of game. Like when the shot clock expires.
Yeah.
Like in basketball, we know, right?
Yeah.
Buzzer goes off.
There's a sound.
Right?
That's right.
But in football, in this day and age where we put a guy on the moon, or anybody, Joe can go up into space.
There you go. There you go. That's better.
We got to wait for the back judge to look at the clock, and then when it hits 0, then he looks down to the center to see if the ball's been snapped. And in that split second of time, they screwed up 2 calls, right? 2 significant calls. In the first half, when DeMarcus Lawrence got called for offsides, he was watching the clock.
Yes.
And he basically said, when it hit 00, I took off.
That's right.
And they called him for offsides, not a delay of game. And then the big one on that last drive for Arizona, the clock had expired. I saw it go 0-0, and then I looked down, and a second later, they snapped it.
1 second later.
Yes. And it should have been a delay of game, stop the clock, right? You don't get that 11-yard gain, and the Cowboys don't have to use their timeout.
And then you have that left for a challenge
fumble.
that. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So from a mechanical standpoint in the game, those things were really significant. I know everybody wanted to look at the holding calls and all that.
So putting holding calls aside, those 2 calls were significant in the outcome of this game.
How do they miss that? Especially the last one. When nobody moved, it wasn't offsides or anything. It was a delay of game, period. They didn't get the ball off.
Having said all of that, and I know you're not finished, but my thing is this, because I'm so anxious about this. Do they interview referees after the game?
They can do a pool report if it's requested.
And I'm sure it will be.
Having done it, it's a no-win situation. Because you go into the referee's little locker room, and they're all sitting there, right? And they're all looking at you like you got leprosy. And they're daring you.
There's only one of you, and there's
and there's 8 of them, or however many, right? And they're daring you to ask a question. And what they do is, whatever your question is, like which call it is, the head referee is standing there with a microphone, right? I mean, a recorder.
Yeah.
The NFL director of that game's official is standing there with a recorder. And they pull up the position referee that made the call. And he's there with a recorder, and you've got a recorder. Now you ask the question as they're shooting darts at you, right? And
I think I would revel in that.
And basically,
I truly do think I would revel in that.
And basically, you ask your question, they give your answer, and you might get a follow-up. If not, it's like Tom, right? When he didn't want to answer
it's like a Belichick. It's like a Belichick press conference, right?
Okay, there's your answer. So, but yeah, and no one requested it because I don't think anybody was paying attention.
But throughout the week now, they're going to have to release something about that performance of that team, the performance of that NFL.
Well, they
team.
don't release it, but they'll review it, and then they give them points for postseason.
And they make a statement.
Well, they never make a statement.
They never make a statement.
No. And that crew, as Mike McCarthy pointed out, was noted for making calls. And I looked it up, and they were fourth most. And in that game, their 17 penalties they called in the game got their total to 208. They were averaging nearly 14 penalties a game.
So the question is, do they have a propensity to call it against the home team all the freaking time? And the visiting team has no holding calls?
I saw it broken down. It was more against the visiting team but not by much. So it was almost even.
I know what happened this game. I don't know about what the past is, but this game I thought that it's not just a number, it's the timeliness of it all.
Right.
And how it affects the game and how it affects our effectiveness.
So have you said your spiel, your initial spiel?
Oh, I'm going to be interrupting you guys throughout the entire show.
Okay.
So, yeah, you've just finished up.
All right, but on the
piggyback.
topic of the last drive by Arizona,
Yes.
which you're talking about there, the Cardinals did have a 15-yard run by Kyler Murray, an 11-yard pass to Zach Ertz on a 2nd and 7 play that got him a first down, a Chase Edmonds 11-yard run that got him a first down.
No, that was the one that would have been eliminated.
Okay.
The 11-yard run.
Okay, so, all right, they run the same play, and they get an 11-yard run after the penalty that gets them to second
and where was the fumble?
A 2nd and 4. And then the next play was the fumble play, right?
And how much time was left?
And there was 2:49 before. On that timeout after the 11-yard run, it was 2:49. So roughly in that area there.
So I would have had 2:49 left.
With one
you would
timeout.
have had a timeout
And
with
a
one
timeout.
to review it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But because it was more than 2 minutes to go, it doesn't go upstairs. And we need a clarification of when it goes upstairs and when it doesn't. Because they do it all the time, right? All of a sudden they go, oh, no, we're picking up that flag. Or, oh, no, this happened.
They do that outside of the 2 minutes.
Yes, without a challenge.
Right.
Go ahead.
But anyway, and
Yeah,
then
but anyway.
2nd and 4, Kyler Murray goes for 9 yards. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, my point is, stop them.
Oh, no. The defense did not play well enough, and not nearly well enough.
And my thing is this. Yes, you're right. Yeah, we have to do our job. There's no doubt about it. But when you're a football player, you're out there playing, all this stuff is going on. You're in fear of bodily injury and things of that nature. The referees have no fear of bodily injury. The only fear is making a bad call. You see, so if you got the experience.
See, my problem with it is the 15-yarder by Murray from his own 25 to the 40, and then the pass, and now they get into 4-down territory, and they're not kicking a field goal, okay? You got to stop them at some point. And now they did with the fumble, that they didn't have a timeout to review it and so forth. I mean, if you're playing it out in reality, what happened. But at some point, you got to stop them on that drive. And the Cowboys didn't stop them, and they got down into the area where they could run out the clock.
Yeah, I'm definitely disappointed in them not being able to stop them. But just like any game where you see comebacks happen, where you see greatness happen, where your game plan is coming to fruition, even down to the last moment, you need everyone else to do their job. The offensive line, the quarterback, wide receivers, and the freaking referees. They have to do their job, Bill.
And my point also is go back to the third quarter and stop them to where you get more than 6 plays in the quarter. Of course, they didn't do anything
you had the
offensively
fake punt.
Right.
You got nailed on that.
Well, no, the fake punt was early in the game. I'm talking about third quarter.
I thought it was the third quarter where they had the ball for 8 minutes.
They had the ball at the start of the third quarter. They had it for 5 minutes and 21 seconds, and it's a touchdown pass to Wesley. Mm-hmm. That made it 19-7. Then the Cowboys had a 3-and-out, and then it was a 49-yard, 9-play drive for a field goal, and now they're up 22-7.
Well, where was the? Oh, that was
first,
second quarter.
Yeah, second quarter.
Where
Was
they
the fake
drained
punt.
right. The whole quarter.
Right, exactly. So you get back into a third quarter where it's a 13-7 game at the half, and if you come out in the third quarter and you can stop them on either one of those drives, now you did have the 3-and-out mixed in, so it's not all on the defense, but the third quarter is where they took command of the game.
So the 3 and out occurred after one of the holding calls.
Right. And that was the Connor Williams holding call.
And that was a 12-yard run by Dak.
Right.
First down.
Right.
All the holding calls happened on third
Right.
down.
Right.
Look,
That's very timely.
we've mentioned this before, and I know I have, that the biggest deficiency of this defense is giving up big plays. And when the well goes dry on takeaways, then it's up to them to get off the field.
That's right.
And they have go back and look at the losses. They have inability. The last time they didn't have any takeaways, the Raiders game. What happened? Got beat, right?
And
How many
huge amount
of
of big plays and 14 penalties, right?
166 yards.
Yeah.
So they had 6 plays of 19 yards or more, 43 and 42. And if you remember last week, I pointed out that was the Cowboys' problem. They gave up 55 pass plays of 20 yards or more. And the Cardinals' calling card was 56 pass plays of 20 yards or more. And they had like a dozen of 30 or more. So no takeaways. And then the big plays come back to bite you bad.
Well, what I saw was I was at both games. I was there yesterday. And it's the familiar tone to me offensively when we come out. I would rather we defer the toss. I would rather we defer the ball.
Well, they didn't have that choice.
Because, when we come out offensively, we are so lackadaisical. Were you at the game, Bill?
I was watching.
You being there, it was so quiet as the offense was trying
It's
to.
like the old Texas Stadium crowd.
Well, and let me say this. I agree with you on that, but I think this offense could come out and change that just like that. Just show me some type of initiative. Show me. Remember I talked about trying to start the lawnmower? Do I have the right type of gas? This is it.
How long's it been in there?
Yeah, was it over the off season? You know what I mean? During the winter, should I drain it?
Change the air filter.
Yeah. We tried all that. Just go take it to the shop. That's what I do. I just take it to the shop and let them do the overhaul when we come on back. But it's the same familiar tone offensively. We seem to be going out there offensively, waiting on something to happen.
Well, in this one, they were moving, right? They got to 3rd and 4 at the Arizona 48. Moved from the 20 to the Arizona 48, and what happened? Offensive holding.
Right.
All right? And now all of a sudden, 3rd and 4 it turns into 3rd and 14. You got a call for that play?
And as I continue,
and
I think we need to be, and I get it, we have this good game plan. Everything is so perfectly coordinated. We got to fit this in here, fit this in there. And when this happens, that happens, they're going to think we're going to do this. And no, we're setting them up mentally, and we're going to do that. Sometimes just go deep. And I say that, it sounds elementary, but here's the thing. You've got defensive backs that have no fear, whether it's a cover 2 man, cover 1 man, or blitz. They have no fear of our wide receivers going deep. And if I was playing against a team like that, I would squat on everything, and thus you have so many near interceptions from this offense because of the fact that they are not being threatened down the field. You're not running the ball well. You're not throwing the ball deep. And I'm surprised that we have the yards we have throwing the ball, considering that fact. Let's be real. We get a lot of our yards because we fall behind, and they finally loosen up a little bit on the defensive side. So I think we need to be more aggressive offensively, and this is nothing new. This is not any type of knee-jerk reaction. I have always said that we have DBs sitting down on our routes, and I'm telling you, it's dangerous, and it's going to lead to a pick six. It's going to lead to more than one pick six.
But
I'm done.
Okay, but so that was the first possession I talked about. The second possession, they go from their 25 to 1st and 10 at the Arizona 26. It's 3rd and 4 at the 20, and they call a false start on Biotish. All right? Do you remember the play?
No, I don't.
Yes.
Dak Prescott was in shotgun. He was moving up to change the play. Biotish reset. He's got his hand on the ball, and they called a false start. They weren't even like close to snapping the ball.
You see that every
yet,
week. That's
right?
every week,
How do you
every
call
game.
that?
They called it because a Cardinal player pointed at him.
He sure did.
Yes.
He stood up and he
exactly.
pointed, and that's why.
Okay, so now it's 3rd and 9. They have an incompletion, and the kicker decides, I can't make 12 in a row field goals. I can only make 11, and he misses from 43. It could have been 3-3. How many points did they lose by?
3.
3.
I'm already off the Greg the Leg bandwagon, by the way. I've been off that thing. This guy missing too many field goals. Extra points. Give me a break.
And then
at home.
Then
I think the wind, was it too much wind in the stadium?
And then the next
Cold day.
No,
yeah, it was cold. The ball was heavy.
You know what? he was on the left hash.
Yeah.
And he hooks everything.
Yeah.
And then he adjusted and
Well,
nearly
if you
missed.
know that, then he should know that.
He adjusted, and then he nearly missed an extra point to the right at the end.
Yeah, I saw that.
By the way,
I
sat there and I went, "Oh, he missed it."
Because it was like, oh, it'll be no big deal. They're like, oh, shoot.
Okay.
What happened?
Now, the third possession, they moved to 3rd and 1 at the 40. They got an 8-yard run by Pollard holding on La'el Collins. And Troy made it even worse. He said, well, yeah, there had to be a reason why that hole was so wide open on that side, right? And I'm going,
Can't be good blocking.
no, he just blocked the guy.
Can't be good blocking.
So then you punt, and they drive for a touchdown. And it's like, golly. And the next possession, another hold on 1st and 10 on Schultz. So either they got to figure out why they're getting called for holding, and now you know why they were basically so upset. And worst of all, the next time they get the ball, they score a touchdown, and they lose Michael Gallup for the rest of the season.
Oh, man, was that crazy? What a play. What a play.
There's the first half. And what was it at halftime?
13-7.
13-7 because they came back and scored.
And kicked a 53-yard field goal in the half.
Thanks to that 5-yard offsides on DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. But but again, you have to be good enough to overcome those things, and offensively, they weren't.
All right, you have more Mick Shots?
Oh, I got a bunch.
Okay,
Yeah,
when
man.
we come back on Mick Shots, there are more Mick Shots to come.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Back to Mick Shots.
And Mick Shots continues. If you didn't get the memo, the Cowboys are playing on Saturday night this week against the Philadelphia Eagles, a game that was flexed late last night.
That's a hell of a flex.
Sunday.
That's some Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I had not even looked at
flexing.
the schedule and seen.
Some Ronnie Coleman stretching.
I knew there were going to be Saturday games, but I thought they had already been scheduled. And then late last night, Cowboys are playing Saturday night. Okay.
Wow.
Which probably sets the stage for the Cowboys playing on Saturday night of next week.
I think that's exactly what they had in mind. They knew that Philadelphia, the game was important to them for seeding, and they got rid of the Cowboys' importance for seeding because although if they win, then L.A. or whoever is the winner in the NFC West, they better win. Otherwise, they'll get in a tie with the Cowboys for the second seed. Right?
Right. Well,
who do they have?
The Rams play San Francisco, and San Francisco needs to win because they're trying to hold off New Orleans. New Orleans plays Atlanta. So if New Orleans wins, then San Francisco has to win to make the playoffs. And the Rams have to win. Arizona's playing Seattle. If Arizona wins, the Rams have to beat San Francisco in order to win the division and have that
bye.
Yeah, well, not a bye, but the home field in the first round, and the loser in that scenario.
Although Arizona, I think, has the tiebreaker in the division record.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why the Rams have to play to win, to win the division. And Arizona, if the Rams win, Arizona has the 5th seed.
Right.
And
coming back.
But if the Rams lose and Arizona wins, Arizona becomes one of the top 4 seeds, and the Rams would be the 5th seed. From the Cowboys' perspective, this is why yesterday was. I mean, they had everything right there for them.
Right there in front of them.
They lost more than just a game.
Yes, they did.
Yes, I don't know if even the players on the team realized how much they lost.
I think they do.
When you look at the scenario. Because Tampa Bay came back and won, because the Rams came back and won against Baltimore yesterday. Now, what has to happen for the Cowboys to get back to that number 2 seed is they've got to beat Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay has to lose to Carolina. And the way Tampa Bay's playing, you never know, And the Rams would have to lose to San Francisco. Yep. Then they get right back up there in the number 2 seed.
No, hold on. If the Rams lose to the 49ers and Arizona wins, they're going to win that division.
Arizona is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the Rams are out, and the Cowboys can't win a tiebreaker with Arizona because they got beat head-to-head.
But if Tampa Bay, that's what I'm saying. They got to be both of those have to happen.
It's got to be a 3-1.
For the Cowboys to move up to the 2 seed, they would have to have whichever. The West winner would have to lose, and Tampa Bay has to lose.
And Tampa Bay.
Now, and here's the other part of that is, let's say the Rams lose and Arizona wins, If Tampa Bay loses, it doesn't matter. The Cowboys cannot move up to the number 2 seed.
Right, because they got beat head-to-head.
So if
same way with
if Tampa Bay loses and the winner, the Rams win, whatever, the Cowboys still are not going to be able. If the higher seeded teams win in the wild card round, they will not be able to avoid either going on the road to Green Bay in the divisional playoff round or on the road to say, Tampa Bay.
Right.
And just a weather note, when that game started yesterday in Green Bay, it was 10 degrees.
Yeah, but the wind was good.
You win.
Not much wind.
Feel like.
Yeah, there's no chill. Just 10.
10 degrees.
So it was a devastating loss as far as the playoffs go.
It really was, Bill. That's why I was so disappointed. And I know that they know this, especially those in the leadership positions on the team. They know where we were headed. this is something that was calculated out. I mean, I thought that the coaching staff was doing a good job of understanding where they were and how they could potentially finish. And I know they were optimistic about this before yesterday's game. That's what makes it so disappointing.
So what do the Cowboys do as far as the way they approach this game against Philadelphia? It being Kansas City plays Denver in the afternoon, but it's the first of the NFC games this weekend, so they don't have any idea what's happening with the other ones. How do they approach it as far as playing time for Dak and everybody?
And I'll guarantee you that went into this decision too, because the NFL wants everybody playing.
Yes.
Right? And so maybe what they were counting on is, well, the Cowboys can't coast. They got to play, and if they win, then the other team's got to play. Because there's still stuff.
And Philadelphia's clinched a playoff spot.
Yes, they have. Can you believe that?
So what advantage do they have of winning that game?
They can improve.
They can move up one spot.
They could move up one spot, right? Because I think if they tie the Saints, are the Saints the next?
Well, San Francisco right now, San Francisco is ahead of them. But if San Francisco lost to the Rams, the Saints would have to beat Atlanta to get in the playoffs.
Right.
And there is a scenario where Philadelphia, if they win this game, they can move up one spot.
Right.
So they would be.
But what if they lose? Do they move down one spot?
I think they're already in the.
They're already the sixth seed.
The seventh. Yeah, the seventh seed.
They're the seventh seed.
Seventh.
Yes, they are the seventh seed.
Okay, so they're trying to schedule things so everybody has to play. That's what's happening.
Right.
And I think the Cowboys.
So the Cowboys approach it like a normal game.
I think they got to play.
Yeah, they got to play. You have to.
I think
if
the
you
last
can
thing
improve,
you want
if there's a chance you can improve, you have to play. That's just the way it is.
You got to take care of that, right?
You gotta take care
how
of
would
it.
you feel if you went out there and said, "Okay, we're pulling everybody," and you lose, and then the other two teams lose?
Right.
You could have been the second seed.
There you go.
You got to play. You can't, and you don't. You want to go into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak, and figure it out for me. How many? Yeah, you lose 2 in a row after winning 4 in a row.
Right now, I don't. Because you want a momentum. You want to be at a momentum when you go into it.
And you don't.
I don't like offensively how we're looking as far as momentum is concerned.
And if you have to, who knows? You might have to play Philadelphia again. You want them coming in thinking, okay, we took care of them.
Right.
We can beat them after they got their butts whipped the first time around. No, you got to win.
Yeah,
if you win and things fall, I mean, there's not a great chance of it. But the Jets were leading Tampa Bay yesterday, and San Francisco has to win against the Rams to make the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. Things fall your way on Sunday. You could be playing Philadelphia.
Who does Tampa Bay have?
Week. Tampa Bay's playing Carolina.
That's right. Okay, you said that.
It's a home game. Arizona's got a home game. And the Rams, they're all three are at home. The road is the Saints got to go to Atlanta,
and we're on the road.
And the Packers got to go to Detroit.
We just blew everything. Come on, man. That's just so. We were like riding high last week. That was so much fun talking about the game and Diggs and all this going
56
on.
points.
And now my road to the Super Bowl, instead of hosting, say, Philadelphia in the first round and then hosting a second round game, and then then a upset occurs and you're host of the NFC Championship game.
Nice.
The road now became hosting the Cardinals or the Rams, going on the road to Green Bay, and then going on the road to Tampa Bay.
And you know that's what's going to happen. The Green Bay part.
Oh, yeah. Green Bay's happening.
Yeah. No doubt about it. And
or you're going on the road for the NFC Championship game to L.A.
And
I got to say, guys, I think they play better on the road.
Well, see, that was weird. All last week, I kept hearing about this home field advantage, how the Cowboys win at home. And I'm going, they lost 2-3 games at home? How many was it? They lost to Denver
lost to the Raiders.
and the Raiders.
Yeah.
Here. So where's
the
the
worst losses were home?
Yeah. And, okay, they scored a lot of points, right?
Yeah.
Look, throw the 56.
The worst losses are home.
Everson, I got a question for you as a former player. Let's say you played for the Green Bay Packers. Okay. And you had the opportunity to win home field advantage throughout the playoffs. would you want to play in 10-degree weather in the playoffs, or would you rather just go ahead and play on the? I'll tell you what. We'll have the choice, and we'll go ahead and play at your place. How's that?
I gotta say, if it was up to me, yes.
Up to you,
just to me,
just to you.
If it was up to me, then I would love to play in warmer weather.
Right,
but indoors in Dallas.
No doubt about it. But
that's fine. We'll come to your place and beat you there.
And that has happened. People have come to our place and beaten us here.
2016.
Yeah, I mean, it happens more than one.
I'm watching that game last night.
The Rams came to Texas Stadium and kicked our butts.
I'm watching that game last night, and I'm wondering the Packers players' mind. Why would they want to play?
I must say, though, I felt playing in New York, playing with the Giants, I felt extremely comfortable, even though I was freezing my testicles off. Everyone around me and the environment itself was extremely favorable for the team. I hated it because I'm from Dallas, okay? Mm-hmm. This ain't my thing. But the entire atmosphere was still what you want for a playoff game, putting personal discomforts aside.
Yeah, but here's my point. How many times, like Green Bay, how many times do they play when it's below 30 degrees at home during a season? Twice, maybe?
Not that much.
Okay. And do you think...
It's not until January.
And everybody says, yeah, well, they live there. They're used to it. I go, but they practice indoors. Same thing with the Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
You practiced indoors,
we did.
right?
Oh, no.
Back then,
no.
Not
back then there was no such thing as
because you didn't have an indoor
facility.
facility.
No, we just practiced. We actually practiced in the stadium when it got cold.
But then they built an outdoor bubble.
Right. That's when the bubble thing
So,
came.
who's used to – no one's used to it. No one's used to playing in 2 feet of snow.
Well, Belichick makes his team – remember, 2 years ago, last year, they made them practice outdoors.
It wasn't last year.
2 years ago, they made them practice outdoors. I remember the video, snow all over the place. And they were going to be playing outdoors, so Belichick made them practice outdoors. That was
snow.
2 years ago.
And how good,
in the snow.
How good is that practice?
I don't know. that was not posted.
All right, we wrap up Mick Shots in just a moment.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
And final few minutes here of Mick Shots. Boy, Mick is riled up today. Everson's even more riled up about what happened on Sunday. And so all right, I'm going to wind both of you up. You got 6 minutes to keep talking.
Go ahead. Just go ahead and just...
What else sticks in your craw?
I'm trying to look.
It's so much.
We went over the defense.
All right,
and by the way, let's give Kyler Murray credit.
Mm-hmm.
He played a hell of a game, right?
He did.
He hit plays that normally are 50-50, and he was much more careful with the football, and he chose his spots when he went down the field, and he hit the throws.
He seemed right at home in that stadium.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Like he'd been there
8-0, yes, 8-0.
So much for that home field advantage.
That's right, yes. I just, when I look at the team, I go back to the sense of urgency. And I get it. We've got, once again, the game plan is put together in a meticulous fashion. I get that. But there are times you just have to play from your gut. There are times when you have to step away from the game plan, and just like we talked about at the touring thing with on the pregame Saturday, like when Jimmy Johnson said, "Don't take the foot off the gas."
Yeah.
Right. We got to have that attitude sometimes, Spags. And I don't mean in a panic sort of way. I mean we have to force the issue, and I don't mean an issue that's at a turtle's pace. I'm talking about an issue that's going to make you have to think quicker. That could cause the defenders and the opposition to be off balance. You can't do that by being meticulous. You have to do that by being urgent. And I was at the game. I've been at the last 2 games. There is a lack of urgency in this game plan and in the way we play sometimes offensively. And it always seems to be while we're playing at home. And once again, I'm telling you, as a player, you have got to open that thing up. And I don't mean from an ad-lib standpoint, meaning the quarterback got chased out of the pocket, then he went deep to Gallup and all that. I mean we need to have more plays down the field, and we need to trust our quarterback's arm. Because here's the thing. You can't. The timing of throwing a deep pass, it doesn't just come to you. It has to be worked on in all types of situations. We have not tested Dak Prescott's deep throwing abilities nearly as much as we should have, because it would be to our advantage. Number one, potential pass interference calls. They mentioned that against the Raiders, that they should have done it, and I still think they could continue to do that. That observation was spot on by Dak, and they need to follow that up as the season goes on.
Did you like Cedric Wilson throwing deep?
I did, and I did.
So do that in the first series, right?
And you saw how they set that up.
Yes.
Yep. With the same series, they tossed it out to him on a traditional wide receiver.
And once again, our quarterback can do the same thing. We don't have to be have tricks to go deep. We can just go deep. We talk about CeeDee Lamb. We talk about Coop. We talk now not Gallup, but Cedric can go deep as well. We've seen it. Let's continue to do that.
How much has the inability to establish a vertical passing game been affected by the inability to run the football?
Directly.
12 carries for 25 yards in the second half of that game. The running backs had 2 carries for 0 yards.
They did it.
If you can't do it by running, then let's open up the passing plays. Let's open up the passing game if you can't do it by running. If the safeties are down tight because we can't run the ball, then we need to at least give them the thought of having to cover that deep route.
Well, you know what they've done to go deep, don't you? They line up in 2 tight end formation to be able to block it, because the amount of pressure they were bringing, the Cowboys, A, weren't picking up the extra guy, or B, they were overwhelmed with too many. And the one play that ended up getting them, and it was significant, Isaiah Simmons came in, and was it Pollard?
It was Zeke.
Zeke picked him up,
across and
did a nice job, busted the guy off, but then he circled back around, and when Dak went to run, he came back, doubled back, punched it out. And look, what they did is similar to what Denver did. It's similar, and that's what they're going to keep seeing. Yeah, the same thing with the Saints. They're gonna put guys on the line of scrimmage. They're going to come after you. You either got to hit the hot receiver, and there's got to be one over the middle. And they were some using Schultz, right? and doing a nice job. But again, some of the blocking in the running game, the tight ends aren't doing a good job. They tried to they set up was that the first series when they tried to throw the little screen with McGovern out there with the tight end and the wide receiver? Sprinkle just let Buda Baker come running right by. He looked and he didn't do anything. Then he picked up somebody else. It's like, no, you should have picked up the first guy, right? And at times Schultz gets thrown to the side in blocking. They need to use somebody.
2 years ago, he never let those things happen.
I don't know why it happens.
It's amazing how he's gone. He's Jarwin now. You know, he's the guy that's nifty down the field catching the passes, but he's not the guy that's making those key blocks. I mean, there are times when we need him to hold that guy off because it's essential to the succession of the play.
And they must not like what McEwen's been doing because he had been out there when he got back. And in this game, the two tight ends were Sprinkle and
he might be on his way back after that performance. But he could be back in again.
So, you know, you say I got two tight ends in here because we're going to block and go heavy. But I don't know how well they block.
You only need two guys going deep. If you give me two wide receivers going deep, that's all I need. I need to try this arm out. I need us to be more adept at going deep. You can't just all of a sudden say, all right, guys, the playoffs is here. We're going to open it up. We have to have a dress rehearsal. I have not seen that yet.
And the other teams, I see their safeties make plays. The Cowboys safety, Curse almost should have had the interception and a touchdown, right? That was 3 points, by the way.
Yeah.
But the time Diggs got beat, where's the safety? KZ was like 10 yards away from the play. The corner's going to get beat. I'm sorry. And, you know, they say, oh, he gambles too much. Well, he didn't gamble. The guy stuttered, and he stopped, and then he took off, and he didn't take off fast enough. And
Hey, look, if you want to get interceptions, then you got to try to make some plays.
Right.
Okay, and that's going to happen.
But I need a safety back there to help me out. You know, Donovan Wilson made a great play in the open field tackle on that. I can't remember.
I saw that.
It was a run play, or they dumped it over the middle.
Yes.
I was like, oh, he got no shot here, and he nailed the guy. But other than that, the safeties don't make plays. Other than J-Ron, but he's close to the line of scrimmage. But in coverage, sometimes the corner needs help, and they don't get it. And when they don't get takeaways, there's your 25 points. Somebody said, well, they held them with 25 points. You should win. It's like, well, no. If you hold them to 17, you should win, right? If you hold them to 20, you should win. If you hold them to 19, you should win.
Well, they say that, Spags, because they think that our offense is a special offense. And we just haven't shown that.
Well,
not in the last 4 games.
Enough.
That's correct. Well, 3 out of 4 games.
Yeah, right, exactly.
All right. Well, that does it for a Monday/Tuesday edition.
Good thing we're consistent.
I know, man.
So
didn't hear much from Bill today, did we, Spags?
Team is back at it. Team is back at it tomorrow, right? It's Wednesday for the team.
I would imagine they can't go too light this week. Yeah.
So do they get
Friday?
do they get to practice in pads?
They might need to.
Are they done? Have they used up their pad days?
I thought they had one left.
I think they have one left.
I think they got one left.
Yeah.
Okay.
This might be the week you need to get guys going.
You ain't lying.
We'll see if we get an extra one.
But it's a short week. So, you know.
See, all kind of excuses not to be aggressive. That's us. We're so delicate.
All right. Well, you know, Mickey and Everson won't be delicate tomorrow when we convene again for another edition of Mick Shots.
I still say, go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!